joined now by Janesboro manager Aidan Ryan. Aidan, another new year, but a different league structure this year. For people that aren't aware of it, I suppose we have the first round of games, all 12 teams will be facing off against each other, and then it's split to top 6 and bottom 6, with the top half teams and the bottom half teams playing each other twice, home and away twice. So what do you make of the new change this year?
Well, I suppose from the LDMC's point of view, they probably felt the need to do something given the amount of with the walkovers and maybe some heavy scorelines in the league, so they felt they had to act and do something. Would I be in favour of the scheduling the way it's going? I don't think I would. I think it defeats the purpose of a league. I think the fact that you're breaking it up into 2 6s dissects the league too much. I think it kind of doesn't give teams maybe that are coming up, if they have any sort of ambition to try and get into the top 6, it'll probably devalue that a little bit. Now listen, there'll be pros and cons that you'll have more competitive games probably in the second half of the league with whoever's in the top 6. But it's certainly, I don't know, it wouldn't be how I would do things. I'd be more inclined maybe to reduce the league maybe to 10 teams, and maybe the following season or two after that reduce it to 9 teams and condense the quality a little bit more. And you'll also give teams an incentive then, can we reach the top 3, can we reach the top 4, can we get into the top 5? Whereas I think this system, I'm not so sure it'll work. And I believe that there is a trophy for coming 7th.
Yeah, it's a shield, yeah.
So I certainly question that. If you're rewarding a team for coming 7th in the league, I'd certainly be questioning that. Now, having said all that, I can see why the league have done it. They see that there's a problem there, so this is their way of trying to find a solution to it. And look, we have to give it a go and see will it work. In my own opinion, it's not the way I would have done things, but it is what it is, and we'll get on with it and crack on with it.
Obviously, you've won the league the last 3 years as well, and you'll be there to be taken down as such for your rivals this year. Has it been difficult maybe to re-energise the players, or are they ready for a new season? It must be hard to motivate to go on every year.
Yeah, I think I spoke to you before about that. I think a lot will hinge on the senior players and how they react, and how they bring maybe new players and younger players that we have coming into the squad this year along. Obviously, we'll be trying to do as well as we can in the league this year. It was great to win it 3 years in a row, obviously, and we were delighted with that. It was a great achievement, to be fair. But we'll be trying to do as well as we can in the league, and we'll be giving us everything we've got.
Yeah, we know obviously that Danny O'Neill has went back to Geraldines from you, and obviously Adrian Power has went to Ballinanty. They were 2 regulars for you. But have you had any new signings coming in that you can confirm to us?
Well, we've Cormac Roach coming in from Abbeyfield. We've young Tyreek Leamy signed from Kilfrush. He was with the Oscar Traynor Youths. Frank Keher, who's the right full for the Oscar Traynor Youths, has also signed. We've Jason Cross back from Limerick. Jason had a serious injury last year, has made a great recovery and has done really well in pre-season. Evan Lynch was away from us for a year. Another former youth along with Jason that played youth football here, he's back. There's, look, like every other manager or coach is going to tell you, there's 1 or 2 more that we're hoping to get in the next week. And Tommy Holland is coming from Limerick. Obviously, I think a lot of people probably know that already.
Yeah, you've also seen the news, I suppose, that Brian O'Callaghan and Robbie Williams have taken over at Pike. They'll obviously have inherited a lot of the players from the previous regime anyway. Fairview Rangers, on the other hand, have had a big recruitment this summer, this pre-season. And obviously, I suppose you'll know, obviously, the likes of Adrian Power at Ballinanty. So, you know, it will be a very tough season, and it'll be a season where all those will be desperate to make sure you don't win 4 years in a row, so you'll have to be aware of that. Yeah,
of course, yeah. Listen, once you've won one, the team are going out to play the champions, so obviously they'll want to put one over on them. Look, Pike will have a settled squad. I think they've held most of last year's squad. I don't think they've lost anybody, really. So they'll be in a good position that way, and that they'll be very familiar with one another. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about the players Fairview bringing, but we can only concentrate. Well, like every other manager or coach, we can only concentrate on ourselves, and we'll have to look at what we're bringing in, see can it blend in what we have already. We're disappointed to have lost some of the players we did, given the trophies we won last year. Some of them have gone for their own reasons. Look, we'll crack on with it. We'll blend the new squad as best we can together and see what comes of it.
Yeah, it's a question I asked to Donal McGee, the Valenti manager, just yesterday, and obviously I've probably discussed this with you in the past, but do you feel that maybe with everything going on in senior soccer, you've been there yourself obviously with Limerick FC, that maybe we need the junior soccer now in Limerick to start upping in standard and taking on the mantle as such? Because do you feel maybe the standard in junior has dropped over the last few years as well?
I do. I think you will get a period in every decade where the standard will probably come up a little bit and then it'll drop down again. I think that happens in every decade, and you'll get the people saying that the players were way better back in the 80s or the 90s or the 70s or whatever. But there is also a golden generation of players that are here at present, that are playing with the Janesboros and the Pikes and the Fairviews and the Ballinantes and whatever. Do I think the standard has dropped? Yeah, it has dropped a little bit. I think the demographic has changed in that players are working evenings now, different shifts. Some are on nights, some are on evenings. Some are finished, at different times during the day. And I think that affects things. It affects training, it affects your sleep, it affects your diet. And I think that has contributed a lot to what's happening in soccer in general. We do need a stronger Premier League. There is absolutely no doubt about that. And certainly in terms of senior soccer going forward, we need good young players coming through the junior ranks, because the way things are going, Limerick are going to be needing these good young fellas coming through at youth level, and to a lesser extent when they just start their junior career. We will need a strong junior Premier, there's no doubt about it. In terms of Limerick going forward, the senior setup, definitely,
Because obviously, as an ex-assistant manager of Limerick FC, it might be strange for people like myself. It's kind of disappointing to see maybe players not wanting to stay in senior soccer as such and wanting to come back to junior. Obviously, it will benefit the likes of yourself as manager of junior clubs, but realistically, it shouldn't be the aim for players that are only in their mid-20s and early 20s.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Obviously, the situation at Limerick isn't very attractive for players at the moment, and until that's addressed, you're going to have that situation where players are going to stay at the junior level. The facilities at junior level are very good. The setups are good. Most of the squads are very good. The quality is decent. So a lot of fellas will come back and they'll prefer to play that level of football.
I suppose to finish on a Janesboro related note, we obviously have mentioned the league's success, but last year you also won the Oscar Traynor, which is a national trophy, and as a club winning that, it was a superb achievement. We were just wondering, has there been any developments on whether you will partake in the Oscar Traynor again this year? Has there been any contact from the LDMC, and would you consider it if that was the case?
Well, there have been no developments on that at the moment, and look, if the LDMC do come to us, of course we'll consider it. It was great to win it last season. I think the players got a lot out of it, and I've said to you before, Adrian, there are only two FAI medals you can win as a junior player. You can win the FAI Junior Cup, the FAI Oscar Traynor Trophy, and our squad have one, and that counts for a lot, and it should be the ambition of every player to win both of them.